Okay guys, and welcome back. We are getting back to the 53 Ford. This is the Ford double flip pickup from MPC. And wow, this kit has issues. As you can see, I don't know if you all remember, but I was farther along than this and I had to pull everything apart, and I'll go over the reasons why. So first and foremost, if you look at the width on the rear axle, and you can imagine those giant tires still on there, and then you look at the, and I'm not talking about the outer well, I'm looking at the inner well there. And can you see a problem with this picture? Of course the thing is slid over. Anyway, long story short, if you put the tires on there the way the instructions say to put them on, and in fact the only way you can put them on, then it won't fit. It won't fit within those inner wells, and you can't put the bed on. So we have to work out some kind of an extension on the axles, and as you can see in the, they fixed it, but they didn't say anything about it. That's why it's sticking out so far on the box art. But for the most part, they just show the bed on all the pictures around the box. They show the bed raised, and I think that's on the one where before they realized that you can't lower it. Anyway, moving on, this fancy thing I did with the plug wires turned out to be sticking up too high, and you couldn't close the hood. So I've been pushing them down, working on them. It got to the point where I had to remove it to work on it. And I may end up having to go with the standard plug wire because I can't get it's all sticking up too high on the back of the, or something setting, I can't remember exactly what. But you can't close the hood. And so that's why that's pulled off. So everything's pulled off. And we're getting back to this. So as you can see, we've got a lot of black overspray, and the reason why is because I have painted the bottoms of everything, anticipating getting ready to paint the tops. You always want the bottoms, the insides and the undersides all painted. Let me get this off here. And if you're trying to do the underside and the top side at the same time, you will get overspray, and ultimately you don't want that. So I've sprayed the bottoms of everything, and since it didn't matter, I just used really cheap paint. I used the, look at this paint job. I'm trying to get, there we go. So I just used the super cheap 99-cent black quick color paint from Home Depot. But look here, let me get this flipped over. This is actually really good paint. Look at that in there. Having the hardest time with the angles. But, you know, wow. You could almost paint the outside with it, and, you know, maybe you can. I don't know. But I won't. I have a brand new can of Testors Gloss Black with Testors Gloss Clear, so I mean we're really going for it on the paint job on the outside. Now, body work to be done. I'm going to be removing everything on this, the drip rails, the drip edge there, and the door handles, and sanding everything smooth before I go to do the paint. So it is a full custom that is not normally driven on the street and never in the rain. And so you have the artistic license to you know, really go for it. And that is just the preview. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of updates on this, but those are famous last words, and who knows what's next, but there's something next. Okay, so moving on, I have you can see them here. I've got the little extensions glued on to the axle to make up for the distance that the bed needs to clear to get these giant tires on. And they're just pieces of sprue. And for anybody who happens to be building this kit, of course you're not going to be able to get that bed to go down unless you project these tires out. Oh, and let me put those on for a second so show what those look like. And there we go. And yes, I know it looks a little ridiculous, but it is the only way that bed is going to fit on there. And I'll just show that that works now. Where am I? There we go. Ta-da! So they will be sticking out like those people that put the, you know, make the gassers with the, without tubbing. And that would be another option. You could tub this thing and make the tubs in there, but this kit has been enough work, and so we're just going to stick them out like that. Anyway, that's basically what it's going to look like. I know it looks off-center, but it's actually just the bed off-center. The things are on there the right way. Okay, moving on. Okay, moving on to the good part. We are about to spray paint the body. And I've got all the pieces prepped quite well. I'm sure I explained that I painted the undersides and the insides of everything already with a kind of a cheaper black paint. But we're going to be doing the tops with testers. I have an old can of testers, gloss black. Believe it or not, this can, just looking at the price there, that is a 20-year-old can of paint. Probably more than 20 years old. Never opened it. I've got a lot of these. And I'm pretty sure I've had very good luck with them still spraying just fine, even being, 10 years old. I don't know if I've ever done a 20-year-old one, but we're going to find out today. And then this is a new, I bought this last year, so this is a 1-year-old can of paint. And this is the gloss coat. This is the clear gloss coat. There is a one that's called a high gloss that actually has a little bit of yellow on it, which might work pretty good with some colors. But if you're gloss coating white or very light color, you want to use this one because it has no yellow in it. Just a little tip there. But I sanded down and prepped and alcohol wiped and then tack clothed all these pieces to make sure there's not a single speck of dust on them. So any dust that shows up in the paint came on after I did that. There's only so much you can do. But this should look really good. Let's see what happens. Next scene, I'm just going to do it. There's going to be probably about 3 or 4 coats of black and then about 3 coats of gloss. And I just do it all in one big long run, 20 minutes apart, each coat. I do like 3 or 4 coats of black, 20 minutes apart, and then 20 minutes after that I just start putting on the clear right onto the wet black, and it does work. And we'll put probably 3 coats of that on there. So the whole process will take an hour and a half. It's just shy of 2 hours, maybe something like that. But it will be worth it. So let's see what happens, and that'll be in the next scene. Okay, so a change of plans. The black paint, the black testers can. I went to go do a test spray. That's what we got over there and down there, as you can imagine, and down there. So what happened is I went to do a test spray, pressed the nozzle down, and it stayed down. It just kept spraying and spraying, and so it was an exciting adventure getting it out of here quickly. It's actually still going. I put it out in the yard and it's still spraying. So I went back on the shelf and I got this can. It's Gloss Black by Rust-Oleum. And there it is. And I had used it before, but now it is leaking and gurgling and what do you call it? Spraying out globs. So I can't use that one. So I mean, as crazy as it sounds, I'm going to have to fall back on the 99-cent Home Depot Quick Color. I'm telling you, I'm having really good luck. I painted all the undersides of the of this car with this, and it really came out nice. And that wasn't even prepared. It wasn't prepped or nothing. I just put that on there just to have paint on there. See that? And so we're painting the tops with it. 99-cent. This is going to be, well, probably half the can is still left there. It'll probably be the end of the can. 50-cent paint job. Let's do it. Okay, well, here is what we've got after just spraying the paint. And this is this 99-cent paint. It is 4 coats, and it is pretty shiny. I don't know for sure if it's going to dry that way. I think it probably will. But I'm going to put the clear coats on anyway. I just wanted to show quickly what the paint looks like before even the clear coat. So as it turns out, this isn't quite so bad, being forced to use that paint. Anyway, that's that. Now let's put on, oh, I think probably 3 coats of the clear, and then see what it looks like. Alright, and here it is after the clear coats, and just 2 coats of the clear coat is all I did. And as you can see, shinier than it was, but I mean, it was shiny already. Not bad at all, considering. There's the, you know, that's not bad at all. I think that you could probably even, yeah, look at that, there's the camera. Anyway, the hood did come out a little bit blotchy, and I'm not sure what that is. I think, looking at that front lip there, that looks like a clear coat buildup. That when you put on the clear too thick, it gets a little white, and then when it dries, it gets clear again. And I hope that's what's going to happen in this case. And then these are just running boards and firewall. But there we go. So I'll let them dry here for a long time, and then work them over to the build area, and yeah, basically put this thing together now. Okay, that'll be next. Oh yeah, and here's that 20-year-old can of paint. Guys, if your paint can is brand new or unopened but 20 years old, be ready for that to happen. Beware. Okay guys, I have decided to separate this into 3 parts. I wanted it as 2 parts. Actually, I wanted it in 1 part, but this kit is going so crazy bad. This is the problem I'm having now. The bed, of course this is a tilting bed. I've got the pistons hooked up correctly there, you see there? And that's pretty neat. But now here's an example of what's happening. It's not lined up correctly. There is only one way to connect it. And if you do it, you can see what happens there. The fender flare hits the tire and pushes the whole thing back. So if you were to, I have my pointer ready. If you were to attach the rear of the hinge, the white part there, let me get closer, the white part there and the white part there attaches to that frame section. If you were to attach that, then it would not open because this would be pushing up against the tire. So I now have to cut that fender in a creative way that makes it look good, maybe. Long story short, don't buy this kit. Basically, don't buy this kit. You see there, you see up there on the example, see how the whole bed comes up and away from that tire? Well, that's not the way the kit works. I don't know what they did on their art there, but their version must come up and swing to an angle. So I think that there's a piston on the back of theirs as well. They don't show it because they want to keep it a secret. They want to keep things a secret, like what I was explaining with the rear tires. If you attach them properly, they will not fit in the wheel wells. So I had to extend those out, and then the hinge thing doesn't work properly. So I'll be cutting the fender flare, and I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna finish this, and I'm gonna finish it in a way that the bed works and the front tilts. That's the other thing that I discovered, is that the front, that's a total disaster. That doesn't work at all. But like I can show here that I did apply more paint, and we've got that blotchiness fixed. And that really is that 99-cent paint. And then there's the bed there. And somewhere I had, oh, they're over there. I've got the interior tub ready to go. So, next video will be me fixing this and trying to line up and attach the rest of the parts. Engine is ready to go. What I had to do there, because the hood wasn't closing properly, I had to flatten down the plug wires on the distributor, on the exit, because they would arc up and then down and around. But they had to come, I mean, it has to be flat. So I flattened it out, and then I'll reattach. I got to shorten these now a little bit, and then I'll reattach these plug wires. And that is it. So, right there, okay. So that's where I'm at on this thing. I was so looking forward to building this kit over the years. Would have never guessed it had so many issues. But I'm going to persevere, and we're going to get it done, and that will be the end of that. So, this was part 2. Look forward to part 3 in probably, I don't know, a month. Thanks for watching.